Most of us have heard about the Masons and Freemasonry, have seen their lodges in our communities. But how many of us know who and what they are? The Masons, or Freemasons, are members of a brotherhood known as Freemasonry, an ancient institution that has survived throughout the ages, throughout the world. People have always been vaguely aware of its existence, albeit veiled from the public eye, shrouded with secrecy and mystery. Rumors have it that Masons are non-believers who trample upon the cross, troublemaking heretics excommunicated by the Vatican, and in death denied the blessings of the Church. Indeed, for hundreds of years, from as early as 1326, major pronouncements and papal bulls have been issued by Rome condemning Masonic associations. In the old days, excommunication meant more than just severance of one's ties with the Catholic Church. A man could have his property confiscated and destroyed, or he could be tortured and thrown into prison, or he could be banished from the country, or in extreme cases, put to death. Among other reasons, history conspired to make Freemasonry the object of Rome's tirades. In the wake of the religious reformation, which broke the hegemony of the Catholic Church and reduced the authority of the Pope, the Vatican became militant against movements and ideas that might tend to be contrary to its interests. As one of its measures, it condemned the intermingling of Catholics with those professing different religious beliefs. Freemasonry, in contrast, accepts members from various religious denominations, teaching every initiate to revere and respect that which is sacred to his brother, be he Christian, Mohammedan, or Jew. Contrary to popular misconception, Freemasonry is not and has never been an atheistic organization. Atheists, in fact, are barred from joining the fraternity because Masonry espouses the Brotherhood of Man under the Fatherhood of God. Masonry, however, is not a religion, but rather a progressive moral science taught by degrees. In the words of the late Ading Fernando, a popular Mason in the entertainment industry, ang masama ay walang karapatang maging mason, at ang mason ay walang karapatang maging masama. Masonic philosophy is centered upon two great themes: building and the search for light. Building refers to the molding of character, which will fit the individual as a better man and citizen in society. The search for light means the quest for knowledge and understanding of the meaning of life and man's role in it. The Masonic system of morality is taught to the initiates in the form of symbols, mostly taken from the tools used by builders. This is so because Masonry traces its roots to the early associations or lodges formed by operative Masons and other Gothic cathedral builders during the Middle Ages. At the close of the Gothic period, the Masonic guilds died out. A few lodges, however, survived in Great Britain. And in 1717, 4 Masonic lodges banded together to establish a Grand Lodge in England. From then on, Masonic lodges have mushroomed all over the world. Many Freemasons have distinguished themselves as patriots and great men. Freemasons were among those who made famous the slogan, liberty, equality, fraternity, during the French Revolution. The founding fathers of American independence were likewise Masons. So were many fighters for freedom in South America. Here at home, Filipino Freemasons led the struggle for liberty. The first account about Freemasonry on Philippine soil was made in 1756 when two Irishmen were arrested and brought before the Inquisition for being Masons. During the British occupation of 1762, the cathedral of the walled city of Manila became a lodge where British Masons held their meetings. The first regular lodge in the country, La Primera Luz Filipina, was founded in Cavite in 1856 through the efforts of two Spanish Navy lieutenants. Filipinos, unfortunately, were refused entry into the lodge. For this reason, many Filipinos sought admittance in Masonic lodges abroad where prejudice and discrimination did not exist. When the Scottish Rite Lodge, made up mostly of Germans, was established, it initiated the first Filipino to be made a Mason in his own country, Jacobo Sobel. Soon, other lodges formed by Britishers and Spaniards also opened. As the spirit of nationalism started to spread like wildfire in the colonial world, Masons stood in the vanguard. First in the country's propaganda movement, Jose Rizal, Marcelo H. del Pilar, Graciano Lopez Haina. The first truly Filipino Masonic lodge, Nilad, constituted in 1892, was conceived by Marcelo H. del Pilar, now regarded as the father of Philippine Freemasonry. Andres Bonifacio, another Mason, founded the Katipunan and led the armed revolt against Spain. Still, another Mason, General Emilio Aguinaldo, later became the head of the revolutionary forces and president of the First Philippine Republic in 1898. Aguinaldo's advisor, Apolinario Mabini, a Mason like him, was known as the Sublime Paralytic and the brains of the revolution. Also a Freemason was General Antonio Luna, the director of war of the revolutionary government. Following the American occupation of the Philippines, U.S. President William McKinley, a Freemason, formed a civil government in 1901, naming another Mason, William Howard Taft, as the first civil governor. Taft popularized the motto, "The Philippines for Filipinos." The existence of complete peace in the Philippines was proclaimed by Theodore Roosevelt, also a Mason. At the onset of peace, American Masons began organizing lodges in the islands. In 1912, the Grand Lodge of the Philippine Islands was officially constituted with Most Worshipful Eugene Stafford as first Grand Master. The movement for independence saw the rise of prominent Masons in this new era. Manuel Quezon, Rafael Palma, Teodoro Calao, Camilo Osias. A mission to the United States led by then Senate President Manuel Quezon secured the passage of the Tidings-McDuffie Law, which provided for the calling of a constitutional convention in 1935 in preparation for independence. The law was approved by President Franklin Roosevelt, himself a Freemason. Among those elected to draft the Constitution were prominent Masons, Manuel Rojas, Conrado Benitez, Jose P. Laurel, Camilo Osias, Rafael Palma, Pedro Guevara, Jose Alejandrino. 41 Masons in all were elected to the convention. Presumably, the reason why the 1935 Constitution embodies some of the lofty ideals of Freemasonry. With the establishment of the Philippine Commonwealth, Manuel Quezon was elected president. Equally significant is the fact that he was the first Filipino to become Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of the Philippines. Shortly after the Japanese invasion of the Philippines during the Second World War, an illustrious Mason, Supreme Court Chief Justice Jose Abad Santos, was executed by firing squad for his refusal to collaborate with the enemy. In 1943, Dr. Jose P. Laurel, a Mason, was made president of the Second Republic of the Philippines, sponsored by the Japanese Imperial Army. Although he did not seek the position, he accepted it so that he would be able to protect oppressed Filipinos. It was another Freemason, General Douglas MacArthur, who liberated the country from the Japanese by fulfilling his promise to return. Two Masonic landmarks were heavily damaged during the war: the Grand Lodge and the Scottish Rite Temple. At the end of the war, the former president of PNB, Zenon Cervantes, who later became Grand Master of Masons, returned to the bank the millions of pesos in his custody, although all records had already been destroyed during the war. On the inauguration of the Republic of the Philippines in 1946, two leading Masons ushered in a new era in Philippine history. Paul V. McNutt, the country's last American administrator, brought down the Stars and Stripes, while Manuel Rojas, the new president, hoisted the national colors. In retrospect, it can be seen that the first presidents of the four governments run by Filipinos were Freemasons: Emilio Aguinaldo, Manuel Quezon, Jose P. Laurel, and Manuel Rojas. Add to that the fact that the national hero, Dr. Jose P. Rizal, was also a Freemason. The post-war years saw the rapid growth of the Grand Lodge of the Philippines. Philippine Masons also organized new lodges in Japan, Korea, Saipan, Vietnam, Micronesia, and Guam, in addition to those they established in China before the war. The Grand Lodge of the Philippines has also mothered two new Grand Lodges in the region, those of China and Japan. At present, the Grand Lodge of the Philippines exercises jurisdiction over lodges in Japan, Korea, Saipan, Micronesia, and Guam. Happily, with the advent of ecumenism in recent years, some quarters in the Catholic Church have begun to take a softer stance as regards Freemasonry. In particular, some church leaders in the Philippines have expressed the opinion that they find nothing in Freemasonry which may be considered contradictory to the teachings of the Catholic Church. In this modern age, is there a place still for this ancient and archaic institution that is Freemasonry?
Most worshipful sir, will you be pleased to place your left hand upon the Holy Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me the oath of office of the most worshipful Grand Master of the most worshipful Grand Lodge of free and accepted Masons of the Philippines. I state your name,
Agustin Victorio Mateo,
do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the Republic of the Philippines
of the Republic of the Philippines
and the most worshipful Grand Lodge
and the most worshipful Grand Lodge
of free and accepted Masons
of free and accepted Masons
of the Philippines,
and will perform
the duties of Grand Master
the duties of Grand Master
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
So help me God.
Amen.
Amen.
Congratulations, most worshipful sir.
Thank you, sir.
With the specter of deteriorating world peace and order, in the face of the worsening human condition brought about by dwindling resources, man, now more than ever, needs the workman's tools to build a strong character, and the light of arcane wisdom to illumine his troubled way. For as long as man is subject to the frailty of his humanity, nay, for as long as man walks the earth with his brother, Masonic teachings remain relevant, and Freemasonry lives on.